Yeah, what up guys, it's Mitsuownes from Germany. In today's video I want to talk about Mortal Kombat X and Evo. So if you haven't noticed, if you haven't seen it yet, Mr. Wizard has posted a poll on his Twitter asking if you had to choose between these games, which one would it be? And these two games were Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat XL. So what is he talking about? Obviously, he's talking about the Evo lineup. If we had to choose between Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat XL, which game would we like to, which would we like to play and represent at Evo 2017? So, obviously, and I think no one would be surprised by this, it's obvious that both cannot live at the same time, apparently. So why is this a thing? Why can't we have two games from NRS? So, first of all, it's obvious that Evo is not about NRS, it's not about Mortal Kombat, it's not about Injustice, but it's about the fighting game community as a whole. So we have all these type of games with Skullgirls, we have like King of Fighters, we have Street Fighter, we have Marvel, we have all these different games, and obviously every community wants their part of Evo. So everyone wants the right to play their game. That's one of the reasons we most likely or unlikely will have both games represented. But that's out of our power, and I think it's fair. I mean, Mortal Kombat X had 2 good years, more or less, at EVO. It was hype, was fun, and now when Injustice 2 drops, and I don't think NRS is going to provide another huge prize pot for MKXL, even if it's represented, but that's another thing. That's besides the point. So what's the main argument and what's the main point, which is even making this whole debate? Like, why is it not possible for us to have both games, apart from, like I said, time issues and scheduling? The main issue is that we, the Mortal Kombat XL players who represent the game, who play the game, who have a certain like reach to other people, we are trashing and bashing the game 24/7 ever since it's being released. It's been released like all the time. All we say after we lose is, I'm so sick of losing to like this brokenness and this broken character, to 50/50s, to brain dead players, to randomness. This is all we are saying after a loss. When did you ever see a tweet saying, alright, GG's, I got outplayed? When do you ever see that? It's so easy to play the game. And I'm not talking even about the vanilla MKX. This has been a thing till today, to this date. The current MKXL version. Like, how are people supposed to to pretty much help our game and promote it, when we, the players, the own community, only bash the game? Who like why would like someone like Mr. Wizard say like, hey, let's support this another time, once more? Because all we are saying is, hey, when is Injustice 2 coming out? I'm so sick of this game, MKXL. When is Injustice 2 finally dropping so I can drop MKXL? This is all I'm seeing. So basically, whose fault is this? Again, it's only purely our fault. And this is such a waste, because I think MKXL is a good game. And look, they even said in the recent combat cast that they are even planning to patch it more and to support it more, the game. That's not the last patch. If there are certain things that need addressing, they will do it. That's what they are saying. But if we cannot shut our mouth, and especially those like who have a certain reach, who can like represent the game even more, like, you don't have to be a Evo champion in order to speak for the community. You are there. Let's say you have a couple hundred followers on Twitter, and let's, for example, say like a few Street Fighter players or Marvel players or whatever players are looking at your Twitter, and all you're doing is bash the game. That would help nobody. Legit nobody. That's why all they're seeing is that we are trashing the game. The own players are hating their own game, basically. And especially if you have, like I said, a certain reach, and you are saying all this stuff, people who basically know barely anything about the game will just repeat your words because they can trust you, they trust you, and they follow you, and they will just repeat the game. That's why so much nonsense is being spread on Twitter, on Twitch, on different forums. It's such a waste. And if only one game, NRS game, makes it to Evo, don't be surprised. Don't blame it on anyone but yourself. Only blame it on the players themselves. Because hey, it's not NRS fault. They have been patching the game so many times. Look at Street Fighter. They get a patch once per season, basically, and that's it. They find out what's the current meta, what's the current like go-to option and stuff, and that's it. They live with the game. But we are crying the whole time. We're never satisfied. We are never satisfied. Even though they patch it like once per week, we will never be satisfied and we'll only bash the game. This is so much nonsense. For example, NRS had the biggest prize pool, I think, for 2 years in a row on their games at Evo with MKX. But still, they were getting like so little support, and it's such a waste. And if you are saying stuff like, when Injustice 2 drops, I'm going to drop a MKXL, why would they even bother giving us a chance when there are like other games, maybe smaller communities, but with like passionate communities? Do you know what I mean? Look at Marvel, for example. That's been a part of Evo for years, and everyone knows it's broken, but they're not talking about the brokenness. They're bringing the hype. They're just playing the game, and that's it. They bring the hype. They love their game, even though they know it's broken. But here we are getting like all kinds of support from NRS themselves, all kind of patches, all kinds of tournaments, Stream Me, ESL, all the good stuff. But then again, all we are doing is bash the game. And like I said, it's such a waste, in my opinion. And like I said, if we do not get MKXL at Evo, I'm absolutely zero surprised. And again, we can only blame this on us, the players. And like I said, I don't think MKXL was perfect, is perfect, or maybe it will never be perfect. But if you, let's say you lose to like, what in your opinion, which is nonsense, like not your opinion, but let's say you have the opinion that you lost to nonsense, some brokenness, some randomness, I don't know. But what you could say is, for example, it's boring or disappointing to lose to a coin flip. I hope this gets addressed, fixed in the next patch, whatever. All right? I mean, we're not saying don't criticize the game. That's of course, they need feedback. They need feedback. If no one talks about it, they will not change anything, right? But don't go out and say, I'm going to drop the game. I'm sick of 50-50s only. Trash players are just getting carried by the character. All that will not help anyone. Like I said, this is complete nonsense. This will not help us. So what we need to do is, especially like I said, if we have a certain reach, you gotta be more like smooth about it. Like like you gotta nail it. What's the issue? Like what are you not satisfied with? And if you got that down, let people know, so NRS and the devs can focus on that and not just bash the game, because this is what we get. Less support, less hype, less tournaments, less money, less cash. That's what we get, and I don't think anyone wants that. We want more tournaments, we want more opportunities to shine. We want to get to the certain level that Street Fighter is on. We want Mortal Kombat XL to get on ESPN too. We want all the good stuff, but that is only possible if we unite and support our own game, our own studio. And like I said, this does not surprise me. We can only learn, because I believe this was the same issue with MK9. And if we don't ever learn, we're just going to jump from game to game to game to game and never have like 2 titles, which is a waste, like I said, because MKXL is still a good game, especially in this version. And like I said, it's just a shame. And yeah, most likely, like I said, Evo 2017, Injustice 2 only. And yeah, the game will probably die when it comes to that, because hey, what's the point from that point on, right? But if actually Injustice 2 Mortal Kombat XL was even a side tournament or something, That would still like motivate people to still learn the game and lab stuff and yeah, just play it in general. But with this right now, we can only take this knowledge and learn from this. Really, we gotta learn from this, from this mistake, to really address stuff more precisely and just nail it and hit the nail right on the head, so we can support our game more. Because hey, there's only so much NRS can do. There's only so many patches they can drop, and only so much cash they can provide us with. I mean, they had so many money, and they just threw it at us. Like, what more can we possibly want, right? Yes, the game is not perfect, but we gotta cut them some slack as well. And if there is nonsense, like I said, address it right, so they can actually work with our feedback. And yeah, like I said, I think when it comes to an NRS community, we can learn a lot from other communities. Like I said, more, for example, they love the game Street Fighter. They just have a complete different like mindset when it comes to the game itself. They try their best to really figure out stuff and learn how to approach different matchups and characters. We don't have that. We don't have that. We only call it broken. We call it random. We call it trash. We call it 50-50s plus launchers, armor. That's what we say all the time. We don't say, let's lab this, or what's the option for this and this. This is something that I don't think NRS really, like the NRS community, really knows how to approach and deal with. So I think we deserve it. Like, maybe we can learn this from Injustice 2 to actually not only blame the game, but blame ourselves. And yeah, this is just something that I wanted to talk about, because I think, like I said, it's a shame. It's a waste. But yeah, this was just me ranting for a few minutes in the crypt once again. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Mitsuownes signing out. Peace.